Good evening, everyone. Proton Racing Series is back at the streets of Montreal as we progress to the 7th round of a championship. And let me just summarize what is going on. So we have 10 drivers at the classic circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, which is quite old. It was built in 1978, which is 46 years ago, and it hosted multiple of race events, with the most important one being obviously Formula 1 Grand Prix. And it was having quite few races, which were quite good in F1. So I hope that this one gonna be good, even if we are having slightly less populated grid. So let me just progress to some drivers, and I think it's just good to introduce myself as always. So my name is Mikołaj Jaskulski, and I'll be commentating the whole event for you. So how you doing, guys? Let me check the chat if there is any of you comments so far, as we are with Shadi Ahmad, who is currently P5 in the practice session. I will also at the same time check the standings after the round 6. So Ryan Whitlock is leading by a total of points being 210, and then behind him is Josh Brooks. He's short of 38 points, second in the standings. Stefcho Stefanov, third in the standings, just 1 point less than Josh Brooks, which got his chances of a title revived after a very weird podium finish at Circuit of the Americas. Behind him is this gentleman, who is not on the track, Charles Bertrand, and then behind him is Colin Kinza. So we have quite some drivers, also Mikko Kontu in the game, 162 points. So it still can change. Oh, hello, no child. It's good. It's good to see you following. Hello. Good to see you, man. And where were we? Mills on Wheels is leading the team standings with 340 points. Then behind him is Kimoa Racing with 314 points. And then behind him is River Racing, 313. So that's a summary of the standings. And this round, especially that we missed a couple of drivers, or even more than a couple, can lead to some changes in the standings. Oh, Christian Brandhill with a big one 5 minutes before the end of the practice. I will go through the whole lap, describing the whole lap in a second, but I think it will be the best to see in the qualifying. But this circuit is quite bumpy one, that's what I can say right now. I've done some laps in the Super Formula, as we also did a round here with those Japanese Super Formula cars, and it was quite nervous to drive here. Like, the bumps are making the car really unsettling. unsettling the car and really nervous. So that is what can happen right now. It's nowhere near the, for example, the F1 games where it's completely flat. Here the bumps really matter, and it's gonna probably be a game changer to some drivers who are very nervous or impatient. And the Wall of Champions, of course, can also be an interesting obstacle for some. As we can see, some victims of the bumps. Josh Brooks just jumping on those curbs and hitting the wall. Yes, the circuit is quite tricky. It is kinda a street track, and kinda not. It is like the artificial island, as far as I know. But it is kinda incorporating some streets. So it is kinda like an Albert Park, I think, combination, which is quite an interesting one. I love this circuit. It's by far one of my most favorite tracks. So not only for like watching, commentating, also by just driving and enjoying the whole flow of it. I think it's really flowy circuit. I don't know if it's a word, but yeah. So it's a yeah, and I'm also quite biased since I'm Polish, and the only Pole to win a race was Kubica on this track. So I think this is a bias we can live with. And the tricky hairpin, which is a turn 10. This track has only 14 corners, but what is interesting, and I think in the 1994 and 1995, so after Senna's death, the FIA was like experimenting with all the safety measures. So they just messed a lot of good tracks like the Eau Rouge in Spa. They just modified the corners, put unnecessary chicanes. I think the Barcelona also had like very stupid chicane in the middle of the straight. So they added like 6 corners here. A lot of them on the longest straight. So from like current turn 10 till the turn 14, there were like 2 or 3 chicanes. It's ridiculous. The more you know. So we are with Ryan Whitlock, the current leader of the standings. Oh, wow, that's a huge one. At the Wall of Champions, hopefully that one won't happen in a race. But that was a good catch. Let me switch to the race highlights and everything. So we can not the highlights, this information, the UI and everything. Live timing. Today is not my greatest day to just stay focused, so I'm fighting with finding the flow, but hopefully when the race starts, just like putting the helmets and just closing the visor, it will just go so well. So this is Christian Brian Hill, who had some of good races, but he's often tangled into something which is, you know, making him lose a couple of positions, crash. I think he was running P3 in Laguna Seca, and then he Long Beach, and then he crashed in the previous season, I think so. So we've got 10 drivers only, but don't worry, small grid, okay, but those guys know what they are doing. They're just doing some of the good moves and some of the entertaining show. At least in recent like 3 races it was a pleasure. Not so many crashes, not so many safety cars. I'm not counting the non-championship round, which was Indy 250. It was something different. This livery is growing on me. I designed it. Okay, that's my project, but I didn't like it when I did it. Now I like it a little bit more. I like the color combo. And this is Miguel Soto. We will follow him. So, what's the qualifying format? 10 minutes. You have 3 laps to establish. And the qualifying is a solo one. So that's a typical rule of the qualifying. Miguel Soto with some issues. Let me follow to Colin Kinzer. He should be on his first flyer. As you can see, you have to keep the flow and the momentum through here. But this is quite tricky, and we go to the hairpin, which is turn 10 on the track. One of the most iconic corners here. It looks like every ordinary hairpin, but the way it leads to this long straight, which is then followed by a chicane and the wall of champions, is a quite iconic combination. I cannot stress how much I love this circuit. And then you have to really be careful with the curbs. As you can see, Colin was inches from the wall, just so close, just so close. And then we are with Ryan Whitlock. Whitlock is not doing laps. Is Bertrand doing laps? No. Soto should be starting a lap, as well as Brooks. I think we can follow Josh. He looked decent recently. A lot of like P2s. Solid pace. Oh, those sausage curbs are just making me nervous. They can disturb the car very easily, and we go to the hairpin again. Very sharp turn from Josh, as we probably should. And you can see how bumpy it is. It looks like a straight, but it's far from being just an ordinary straight. It's a quite bumpy one. Jumping out on those chicane curbs and going with, I think, lap which wasn't clean. Colin Kinzer in the meantime is leading by 119.2. Fine time, but the whole grid is, maybe not the whole grid currently, but like top 3 is very close to him. Shady is just 1/10 away. And 2/10 away is Ryan Whitlock. Josh Brooks fighting with this car as we hit for the hairpin again. Let me see if Bertrand is doing laps. I don't think so. Let me just do the usual microphone check, okay? I don't see any people on the chat. I don't know if it's working. People on the chat. Okay, it's working. Good. Better do it now than later. I'm pretty sure at least Stepcho will be, and probably Ollie will be watching VOD, so that's how it is. Ryan Whitlock is not doing a lap. Colin Tinzer, I think, is finished. Shadi is finished as well. Josh Brooks on his last flyer. Let's go through the cockpit camera. It should be okay. So Colin, Shadi, Ryan currently. Stefcho, then P5. Adam Ahmed, P6. Carter Kraus, P7. Christian Brian Hill, P8. Then I think Miguel Soto didn't manage to do the cleanup. We'll see in a moment. And Charles Bertrand, who probably doesn't want to do the lap and have a little bit more fun from the back of the grid. Oh, Josh Brooks hitting the wall, probably a little bit frustrated with his lap. It's just 8/10 away. To pole position. That was quite a close qualifying. Top 5 within a second, which is quite nice. Oh, Miguel Soto did manage to finish his lap, and he is P5. Just by 50 milliseconds faster than Stefcho. That's amazing. That's amazing. The things we love to see. And he should be on his last lap, so he can still improve. Which is quite a good one. So we go to the straight. In the round of chicane, car is quite disturbed. Oh, drifting almost here at the Wall of Champions. I don't think he improved. Yeah, he lost 1.5 seconds there on this lap. That drift probably costed him like half a second at least, but it was worth trying. So 10 drivers, 14 corners, and how many laps we're gonna find out. But it's gonna be, I think, quite a good race. It's, you know, like with those races with less drivers, you can be like, oh, they're gonna settle down, there will be huge gaps between the drivers, for example, like the Spa race we've done with Super Formula Lights. I think it was kind of like that. The long circuit, not so many drivers. This circuit is not so long, but yeah, you probably get my point. It's not the greatest spectacle if you don't have many drivers. If you have much more drivers, then you have the traffic, the fights all around the grid. But maybe today we're gonna see a quite close field. Like, they are mostly within a second, maybe within 2 seconds, in the worst case scenario. So as you can see, there are quite unorthodox strategies going on. Like, the top 2 drivers are on the harder compound, while I don't know what Ryan Whitlock will be on, but Josh Brooks, Miguel Soto and Stefan Stefanov, they are all on the softs. And then Adam Ahmed, probably on softs too. Ryan Whitlock on the hards, so top 3 on the hards. The rest of the grid probably on the softs. Maybe Sharpatron on the hards, maybe on the softs. I don't know. We'll see. Charles probably is last to first. Oh, let me see the blimp. Oh, it's much better. As they go through the hairpin. Or is he? Oh, Charles is not there. Maybe he will start from the pit lane. I don't know. Maybe he's just there for the race control. Could be as well. Colin Kinzer leads the pack. 119.1 achieved in the qualifying. And we are there before the final chicane. The Wall of Champions. And there we go, green, green, green. Colin Kinzer keeps the lead, and then behind him there is Josh Brooks and Miguel Soto going side by side. As we progress to the first corner, I think Christian Brian Hill is fighting with Stefanov at the back, while Adam Ahmed and Carter Krause lost 2 positions. Christian Brian Hill already getting 3 positions at the start. And there we go through 5th and 6th corner, with Shadi Ahmed keeping the 2nd position. Oh, there's a lockup from Miguel Soto there at the back. It allows Josh Brooks to stay closer with the pack and not be engaged with the fight with the Colombian driver, as he rejoined in the P8. Stefanov in the meantime dropped 3 positions. Shadi dropping another position there. So there's Ryan Whitlock and Josh Brooks taking spot from Shadi. Yeah, he did. Indeed, Frawley had a little bit of a problem, I think. I think he had a crash. We'll check as we are on board with Josh Brooks. Following Ryan Whitlock. Is he gonna be able to stay close to the pack. He struggled a little bit in the qualifying. Was unable to be in the top 3, but he was quite close to those 3 drivers, finishing P4 in the qualifying, so he should be on pace, since the most of the drivers were like having tenths of a difference. Keeping it cool here, as at the back of him is Christian Hill, the biggest winner of the first lap, I think. 4 positions gained. There goes Christian Hill, side by side with Shadi, and there he goes. It's a clean position there on the last corner. And then Josh Brooks proceeds to, Adam Ahmed proceeds to take a spot from Shadi. In the meantime, top 3 are still there together. The whole grid is actually quite close. The only gap is Christian Hill. You can see him in the front with the orange rear wing. He is 1.5 seconds behind the top 3. Oh, the top 3 got really close at the exit of a hairpin, so we should follow them again, as Ryan Whitlock will probably be able to attack Colin. He wants to wait, I think. He wants to keep it cool. He wants to find a really good spot to overtake. You can just lose quite a lot if you just misjudge your braking and then you just sacrifice your exit. I think the exit is a must on the chicane here, since there is another straight you can actually overtake. I'm not sure if he's just playing the long game. He's just playing with the game. He's just a hunter. And he just wants Colin to make a mistake. He just wants to just be close to him. Just force him in the very uncomfortable position. It's kind of the Nick Lauda strategy. You just follow the guy for the most of the race and then you just overtake him. There it is. 3 drivers quite close to each other. And then behind them is Christian Hill. So the race settled down quite a bit. From every part of the track, not counting the top 3, obviously. Or actually, maybe not. Carter Krause and Shadi are involved in the fight. So maybe there will be quite some fights to cover as we go through 38 laps long race. 33 laps left. And top 3 is still next to each other. Push to pass is on from Josh Brooks. Being just right at the rear of the Colin Kinser's gearbox. Oh, avoiding the car in front. Josh went a little bit to the left. Will it cost him a momentum here? I don't think so. He is still half a second behind Colin. Ryan Whitlock leading the race. It's gonna be interesting. Like, any of those three can win. Even Christian Brownhill if something happens to those guys there. But Christian doesn't seem to be catching them. If anything, he's just dropping. It was 1.6, now it is... Oh, again, it's 1.6, but he was like 9.9, like, right now. So it's a few times here, a few times there, and there it is! Josh Brooks right behind Colin Kinser, he goes for a move down the inside. Oh, a clean move in a very dangerous spot, and there is Colin Kinser again, responding to Josh Brooks. Will the British driver be able to defend? He stays in front of Colin in the hairpin, and Colin now has a very hard job to do to overtake Josh as soon as possible. Maybe not so hard as we progress to the final corner. Oh, they almost touched each other. It can sound very bad, but yeah, I can live with this one. As they go to the first one, you can see Colin finding a little bit more grip on the entry, but not so much on the exit. And those two battling allows Ryan Whitlock to just go a little bit more into the comfy spot. How's that gonna be? I'm not sure, but it looks like Ryan is in a very good spot there. Let me see Carter Krause in a moment. He follows Adam Ahmed. Seven tenths behind him, or even 6, as we go to the hairpin. Oh, again, Colin Kinser not leaving Josh easy job to do. He is just on his rear again, 6 tenths behind. And you can see, even if we don't have that many drivers on the grid today, they are still very close to each other, this part of the race. So if anything can happen to those drivers, there can be a huge switch on the results, obviously, but as well in the final standings, as I think 5 or 6 of the drivers are really close to be able to get the title. Few of them are not racing today, which is Charles Bertrand, who I thought will be racing, but no, he's not. He's just watching and doing the race control, I think. And Mikko Kontu, he's not racing today as well, which is a shame. Yeah, that's a really good point. There's a tire disadvantage to Ryan, who is on the hards, and he's still putting quite similar lap times, as you can see, just tenths faster than Josh on softs. And then you have Colin on hard, just putting pressure on Josh, and that makes me think, is Josh saving the tires, or those guys are just pushing a lot on him, and he just, you know, has a lot of pressure, and then he cannot deliver as much pace as he wanted, because he still needs to catch Ryan. He knows that it has softer compound, but then you have Colin behind him, and Colin just not giving him easy time. So maybe he did some mistake and the tires are not performing. Okay, I didn't see any lockup or anything just now, but maybe he's just pushing too much. I don't know. But he doesn't look too strong on those softs. If anything, any of those drivers doesn't look faster on softs than Ryan is. So Ryan is looking really strong on those compounds. Tire whisperer, I don't know, but he does it really well. And then there is Shali Ahmed and Carter Krause. Carter managed to overtake him a while ago, I think. Yeah, he should, since Adam was in front of him and now it's P7 and it's in the pit lane. Or maybe he just went to the pits. Could be a thing. Miguel Soto is out of the race. That's an unfortunate one. Let me switch to the top 3 again as they get closer than ever. 4 tenths from each other. And there is Josh Brooks and Colin Kinser trailing Ryan Whitlock, who is just a half of a second in front of the British driver. So are they playing the long game? Oh, now there is an answer. Josh Brooks goes to the pit lane. His stint on the softs didn't last longer than 10 laps. That leaves the battle for the lead for now on Colin and Ryan. How much longer they're gonna stay on the heights, that's hard to say right now, but that might be an interesting part of the race where the strategy and the stint management, basically tire management, can just change the outcome. Like, this is it. Like, you watch the half of the race, which is kind of like chess 5D, basically. So they just play on a different strategy, on a different tire management, fuel management, mind games, basically. Maybe I don't try to overtake him, I just try to put much pressure on him, make him a little bit tired, maybe a little bit too alert, and then after all of it I gonna attack, maybe something like this. You never know what they have in mind, like, but I'm sure they have a lot of like the strategy and everything going for the whole race, but for the first half of a race, it's like, or at least for the first stint, it can impact the last few laps, basically. I still believe like the first stint is the most important. I know that you can have the amazing pace in the second one and everything, but it's like the movie or like the theater. You have the acts, and the first act always leads to the last one. There is like, you cannot have the second one, the third one without the first one. So yeah, a little bit of a gibberish talking from me, but I try to keep everyone entertained, and I get a little bit philosophical when there is not too much going on. I mean, there is a little bit going on, but not much moves, as Colin Kinser still keeps it half a second behind Ryan Whitlock. Like, Ryan has a lot of pressure, like half a second is not that much, and this circuit doesn't like mistakes. If you go outside of the second corner. There is a bump which can unsettle the car. There are some bumps here. Then you have those chunky curbs, which we'll see in a second. Here you can also easily disturb the car. And there you have walls everywhere. So it is, like I said, a combo of like the typical circuit, the typical road course, but like with the walls, so it gives the street circuit vibes. And it is technically a half street circuit one, but you get my point. So if you push too much, if you just try to just maintain all the pressure, one mistake and you're out of the race, basically. Colin fighting with the car through the last chicane. Steady on the throttle. Not so much changes there. As we still have 24 laps to go. Colin Kinser 4 times behind Ryan. Will it mean that the move is inevitable? Jesus, my pronunciation today is bad, but we all have to live with that. Inevitable. I think that's much better. As we see Colin losing 3 times on the exit before the final straight. And I think this is the most important part of the race. Couple of drivers to mention are Christian Brand-Hill with 6 positions gained in the race, and Carter Krause with 4 positions gained in the race. But you know what? Like, I don't mind 9 drivers on the grid, as long as we have the battle right like this. Those are just fighting there. In the meantime, we have Josh Brooks on the hard compound. He is struggling a little bit, I think. Or maybe not. He is just doing the laps similar to Ryan. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. You can see how much you have to turn this car, and it doesn't want to turn on the hairpin, as Colin Kinser is still trailing Ryan Whitlock by 0.7 seconds. Let me check how is Josh Brooks doing. Currently P6. Losing quite a bit to the front, but still remember, they have to pit. He has a tire advantage. And I think there will be one more pit stop round. Whoa, brushing the wall slightly there, I think. Let me switch to Colin Kinser, as he is just behind this aggressive sky blue livery of Ryan Whitlock. The liveries are looking very good. Do you think they're gonna pit soon? I think they should be. Already 15 laps on those tires. So maybe like 2 or 3 more. Maybe 5? I don't know. Colin Kinser still behind Ryan. They just want to give us a little bit of a show. Yeah, that's it. Like, you get really frustrated because you want to get the guy, but it's just like 2 times too little to just get him, and you just probably think, like, I often think when I just do sim racing, like, what the hell? It's just like, do something, just go, and you just cannot, because you just like are stuck in this one place. You either like pace, you have to save tires, or you just cannot do that for some reason, and it can be frustrating, but it can also be a long game of, you know, like, I'm gonna keep him under the pressure just enough that I'm behind him, but I'm not willing to make a move. I want him to make a mistake. That can be also a strategy. Like, Ryan has also a lot of pressure because he cannot do any mistakes. He has to drive cleanly. Like, okay, obviously you don't want to make any mistakes when you race, but when you like lead by 15 seconds and you make 2 seconds mistake, okay, that's fine. But if you're like 1 second behind, in front of a dude who is still behind you for the whole race, and you can see Colin is dropping slightly in this part of the lap. It's half a second there gone, sadly. What I want to say, it's a little bit tricky for both of them. One gets frustrated, the other one, he probably wants to get away. Not always. Like, sometimes those dudes love to be like chased or like chase because there's something entertaining, something fun. But in the end, we are all competitive and we just want to win. So yeah, it is for sure frustrating as they both go to the pit lane. Keep an eye on Shadi. He should be going to the pit lane as well. So they both go there. Shadi is the new race leader as he stayed on track. Ryan Whitlock jumping in front of Colin, so nothing changed after the pit stops. But there's a problem. Josh Brooks is in front of him, and he is on a much warmer tires. Less fresh, of course, but much warmer. And you can see Colin is quite not comfy with the tires. Ryan is far more confident, you can see. Right behind Josh Brooks from the start, even if the tires are not too warm. And he already goes past him, I think. Is that Josh? Yeah, it is. So why did he leave him? I don't know, but they both went past him. He's been saying something on the chat which I don't think we can hear. I obviously muted it to avoid any driver outburst live. But that's unfortunate for the British driver as Colin and Ryan still goes on. Shadi is in the pit lane. I can confirm that. So the frustration hits again. Oh! brushing the wall again slightly, but I think it shouldn't be a damage for Colin. As we go through the twisty asses chicane like 6th and 7th corner, there's another half chicane, very fast. I mean, it's actually a chicane, but it's like very fast one. It's really entertaining. And 2 seconds behind them, it's just Brooks. I don't know what happened there, but he just kept them. And Colin Kinzer there for a while. I thought he was going to make a move, but not for now. But I think it should be the part where Colin gets a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more thirsty for that win, a little bit more annoyed probably as well. Like, why do I have to be behind this guy always? Like, just like 1 length of a car. Why I cannot overtake him? Probably he's thinking, I don't know, maybe he's just chilled and he's not thinking anything particular at all. But I just try to imagine what could they think in the high pressure moments like that, as they go to the hairpin. I think that was a quite good exit from Colin. Staying in the slipstream as well. Not enough for a move. You can see how much half a second means. Like, he obviously all knows, because probably most of us who watched it are sim racers, or just people enjoying racing, but just think about it. Oh, there's a battle. Carter Krause and Shady Ahmed. Just next to each other. So, something happening. Yeah, this is what I think as well. Josh doesn't look confident on those hards, and he's just dropping again more and more. So 2 battles within half of a second. But yeah, what I was saying, like, think about it. Half a second is just like nothing to us, but when you just get on the track, when you just get really competitive and every tenth matters, it just lasts forever. It just looks like, I don't know, like half a mile basically. But it's just a half a second. It's quite crazy as Colin Kinzer again persists his pursuit for that win. Oh, looking for every possible lane behind Ryan. Ryan is covering all the spots. He's just not leaving Colin any good overtaking spot. It's not like all over the place. He's just where he is supposed to be. And this track is not the easiest one to overtake. Another wall brush from Colin, but I think it's a minor one. Oh, it's an intense battle for sure, which will keep us entertaining for 15 more laps. sad that Josh lost the pace, but maybe he will be back on another stint. I don't think he will. Yeah, there's like quite a lot of laps difference. 8 laps of a difference between Colin, Ryan and Josh. I mean, Colin and Ryan are obviously on the same strategy, but Josh is just not. And he doesn't like the hards, but he's still within them, like 3 seconds. So maybe, after another pit stop, because I'm sure there will be another one. Something happens, but those two as well will have to just try something else with the strategy. I mean, they are on the hards. They were on the hards, right? So they will be on. All of them gonna be on the softs, which I didn't think through when I just said that. Thought they were on softs, but no, they're all on the hards again. Josh went from softs to hards, I think. Yeah. And still they go. 0.3 of a second. I think this is by far my most philosophical commentary right now as we go with Colin again from the cockpit view, 0.2 of a second for a while. Oh, Ryan Whitlock touching the wall. It can be affecting his exit there. I don't think it will be the race ending hit. Colin Kinzer also with not the best of the entries to the corner. You can see how different lanes they are taking there. Getting on that throttle as early as he can. Colin Kinzer is one more time trying to just make some place for himself there on the highest steps of the podium. And he looks really strong in the first few corners, but this is not the greatest of spots where you can overtake, and Ryan Whitlock is just playing a very good game there. And I'm so sorry that I'm not covering much of the field, but as you can see, the gaps between the drivers, as I said before the race, yeah, they are quite high. Josh Brooks in the background. I will mention some drivers later, but yeah, but right now Colin Kinzer being 0.3 of a second behind Ryan is something special, something really fun to watch, as Colin again places himself behind the blue menace, because I cannot call Ryan anything else. Like, he's not the menace in any bad meaning of it. He is just an absolute devastation for Colin right now, because you can see he wants to get there, he just wants to overtake him, but the car is always where Colin just wants to stick his nose. And it's really frustrating. It's really annoying. But this is a pure racing again, almost on the back of his gearbox. Not the camera I want to see. Oh, this is the better one. Just look at the mirror and you see this gold livery car just being there, and again they just run almost identical pace. Colin was slightly faster but still unable to overtake him. But you know what's fun? Josh Brooks is slightly recovering 2.5 seconds right now. It was 2.2 a while ago. Oh, again Colin Kinzer. Almost a fault losing the car, but it looks really stable. Oh, it's really fun. It's really fun to watch those two. I think at this point, it's a battle of attrition. They just want to get each other into a very uncomfortable spot. And just force them into making a mistake. I don't know what Josh Brooks is just doing right now. Almost 20 laps on those tires. They lasted 17 to 18 laps on the previous stint. I don't know how much he gonna stay, but yeah, I think he should keep it around 1 or 2 laps more, not longer. Oh, the braking is still on the side of Ryan. Ryan was much better under the braking than Colin is. Colin looks a little bit hesitant for making a move. He probably thinks, let's just don't do a collision. We do good so far. And it often ends like that. We've seen races where the drivers are just following each other for most of the race. They just collide at some point because, like, you just cannot keep the pressure. It's the moment I wanna do it right now, right here, and it just crash. There you go. There you go. Gone. And forgotten in the back of the live timing. Which we don't want to see. Carter Krause 1.3 seconds behind Josh Brooks, who is exiting the pit lane. There goes, yeah, he is on the outlap. While those two are fighting. Sorry that I didn't cover it earlier, but I think it's still not that bad. I didn't miss it. So far, so good. Whoever is watching right now, do you enjoy the race? Because it is surprisingly really good, the battle from those two. It is probably more than it's more Ryan and Colin show than Proton Racing Series. Come on, this is just pure cinema. I wonder what Josh is playing. What is Josh's game right now? Those two battling can mean Josh can have quite a good recovery. I don't know, maybe I'm just coping. Maybe I want to see him in the mix, but I don't know. It is interesting. I mean, I think they will try to finish on those tires. There are 11 laps on the stint, 8 laps to go. I think they are not going to pit. They're just gonna... But they should, right? Yeah, they should. Because you have to change the compound if I'm being right? And I both started on the hards and just calculating right now. This is Josh Brooks recovering. Also, I should mention Steph Cho, who has a very miserable race, but he has to do all he can to just finish the race, as he is securing a comfy spot in the top 5 standings, I think, right now, with Charles Gunn and Josh, Colin and Ryan battling. He can be in the mix, but not as close as those three. Let me switch to Colin. Again, very close to Ryan. And yes, Ryan is in the pit lane. So I was right. So Josh Brooks overtaking Christian Brian Hill, who is in the pit lane. Oh, there goes Ryan Whitlock! Side by side with Shadi. Shadi will probably leave him. Yeah, he left him in front of him. So there was no slowing down, but Josh Brooks probably sees the opportunity right now. He has to go through Shadi, which is quite a problem for him, but Shadi is on a very old tire, so it shouldn't be as problematic as I'm probably thinking. But still enough to slow him down here on the chicane. Yeah. Shadi probably thinks, and no, I'm no way in this battle, I'm just gonna leave him go. And there is Josh Brooks, right behind Ryan Whitlock. The tires are warmed in, 3 laps in, push to pass is on. And the hand has begun, I think. Maybe. We'll see what's the lap gonna be from Ryan. But Josh having the fastest lap of the race shows that he is pushing. And he is just doing all he can, but Shadi is also there. Oh, you can see that those tires are no good. This third corner is very tricky. You just think you can just throw the car in, but how the corners are flowing, you can easily end up in the wall, like most of the track basically, but that's the spot I bent the car the most, probably, not counting the wall of champions here. So probably I speak for myself, but maybe that's how it is. And Colin Kinsler is also in the mix, as you can see, in the second spot, so everything settled down. Yeah. Ryan is just superbly good. I have no words to say. 19.8. Finding more pace, just executing everything perfectly. Undercut, check. Just nailing the pit exit, dealing with the Shadi, just going through, check. Just keeping Colin under the control, check. And Josh Brooks is already like 3 seconds behind him. He has no pace. Is Colin having enough of patience and enough of balls to just perform something extraordinary in those last 4 laps. He probably will. He probably will. Like, you are not duck hunting for like 30 laps or even more to just stay there, and he goes side by side right now with Colin. Colin again a little bit better on braking, but maybe here on the acceleration. There goes Colin Keyser right on the gearbox of Ryan Whitlock, 1/10 of a second. Colin Keyser goes down the inside, finding a little bit more grip there outside of the second corner, but not quite good for a defending. But he responds with another attack there on the 4th corner. Here goes Colin Keyser down the inside again. Ryan Whitlock again, perfect acceleration, perfect control of the car. He just can settle down the car in a very dangerous spots. Oh, Colin Keyser is just nervous right at this point. As you can see, Josh Brooks is just waiting for those two to do something stupid. We can see Baton Vettel situation. Maybe Colin Keyser that's the inside of the hairpin. Here he goes. Jesus Christ, I'm just losing words. Colin Keyser is a new race leader, I think. Unless Ryan Whitlock will pull something on the straight, and we know he is much better on the braking here. He will probably attacks here. Oh, Colin Keyser defends again. Amazing, amazing. 3 more laps to go, and those two just getting aggressive. Yeah, amazing move. This is quite an entertaining race. I'm just sad that we have only like 9 drivers and just, I don't know, 3 people watching. But I'm sure this is one of the best win battles for the win I'm commentating. I'm for sure. I would like to mention Stefan Stefanov might get Carter Krause for P6 even after his problems. So it really pays off. Ryan Whitlock in the meantime dropped 1.2 seconds. Oh my god, that might be it. I think Ryan still is quite motivated to respond. We know he has a pace. What Colin did, he has balls for sure. For sure. That was just waiting for a moment. That was like classic Niki Lauda moment, I think. Just hunt him down for the 2-3 laps and just force a move and then just never let go from that P1. Maybe I'm glazing, but that was amazing. I'm even rapping right now. So yeah. Mosquito EP. Well, yeah, I know. I mean, it's. I try to make a narrative, okay, Charles? You can say it's the worst racecraft because, yeah, you could just overtake easily. I know that you could, but maybe he was playing the long game because he knew he couldn't defend from Ryan, and then he just responded. I don't know. Maybe I'm coping to make it a little bit more interesting. But this is what I have to do. Put a little bit more spice in the narrative for us to follow, as Josh Brooks has to follow Ryan Whitlock. Whitlock's tail. And there we go with Colin heading for the win with a comfortable 2.8 seconds lead. Steffshaw didn't get Carter Kraus in the meantime. He lost 3.8 seconds. Colin Kinsers goes to the hairpin. Just a few corners there to deliver the win. Also, how are you doing, Charles? It's good to see you. Even if you're not racing. I hope you are having a decent day. And here goes Colin Kinzer. Through a chicane. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Colin Kinzer is a race winner of the 7th round of Indycar Proton Racing Series at Montreal Circuit. Gilles Villeneuve, Ryan Whitlock P2, Josh Brooks P3. There we go. Shadi Ahmad P4, Christian Brian Hill P5, 4 positions gained from the start. Carter Kraus there with P6. And Stefcho Stefanov goes P7. Miguel Soto and Adam Ahmed didn't finish the race. That was entertaining. I know. Worst racecraft ever, you cannot overtake the car, but at least for an hour I had something to talk about. And I prefer this than a 20-second sweep, okay? That was entertaining, that was fun. And yeah, I hope you're gonna enjoy another one. Hopefully those 3, or even Charles maybe. I know Charles says it's boring, and I would love to see him race again and just show how it's done. That would be fun. That would be really fun. Let me see. What's the next round? And the next round should be Road Atlanta. So another classic track with a lot of elevation changes. Quite nice green environment and blue and yellow curbs, I think. This is how I'm gonna describe the track, but it's fun, it's flowing, it's fast, it's one of the very iconic American tracks, probably one of the best racing tracks worldwide, so it should be fun. But I'm really waiting for the round after this, which is Interlagos. Like, Interlagos is always a banger, and we should get a little bit more drivers there, maybe at Road Atlanta as well. But yeah, Colin Kinzer, what a race. Ryan Whitlock, what a race. Josh Brooks, yeah, also quite a decent one. Shadi, Christian, Carter, Stefcho, Miguel, and Adam. That's the order. And that was the race at Montreal. So, I think with this one, I will be ending the stream. So see you next week at Road Atlanta. I'll be commentating as always. And my name was Mikołaj Jaskulski, also known as Mosquito, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. See you next week, and we are Proton Racing Series. Have fun.